Joe Rogan, has anybody got a link of him talking about ivermectin on his show? This is wild. This is breaking news. Breaking Joe Rogan news. Now, before I say this, I want to give one caveat, as I gave earlier in the show, in the program. Joe Rogan is somebody who has a lot of experience in MMA. He has a lot of experience in combat sports, watching it and sometimes participating. Where's his kicks? I want to see specifically his kicks. Oh, God, man, his kicks. Dude, man, that kick. Jesus.
Now, I'm going to add the turn.
Oh, my God. Jesus. So basically, what I'm getting at is the dude kicks like a horse. So him taking ivermectin, maybe, he legitimately thought he had horse DNA. And so this was like some like kind of weird type of surgery to deal with that fact. And I think that is a legitimate concern, but I don't think the scientific consensus is leaning in that favor. So I'm still going to assume that taking ivermectin was not the smart move. But Joe Rogan says he tested positive for COVID-19. And so he's taking an unproven horse dewormer, ivermectin, as medicine to treat it.
Ivermectin has no evidence behind it as far as any utility to either prevent or cure COVID-19. When we talk about ivermectin, we can literally go to the FDA's website, know that they have basically a very brief explainer as to why taking ivermectin for COVID is probably not a good idea. One, because it's not approved. There is no randomized controlled trial that has actually done this. There's no randomized controlled trial that has been properly designed to actually even assess this in the first place. Right, but again, a lot of people are going out and buying ivermectin that is meant to treat animals. I actually have a veterinarian friend of mine who is literally complaining that a lot of his colleagues can't find ivermectin anymore to treat their cows and stuff because people are just buying it up for themselves for COVID. So in that sense, ivermectin can potentially be neurotoxic to people who take it. There are many possibilities for ivermectin to interact with medication. Of course, this is a disclaimer. This is not medical advice, but according to the FDA, ivermectin is definitely not something that is approved to treat COVID-19. A lot of the evidence that people like him cite to claim ivermectin is used to treat COVID comes from a collection of many very poorly run and designed randomized controlled trials from low to middle income countries where the controls are entirely wrong. A lot of the treatment arms actually include other medication besides ivermectin. And one of the biggest randomized controlled trials to date on ivermectin was actually withdrawn from consideration for peer review after 7 to 8 months of being in limbo because it was found out the authors just made a bunch of stuff up. They literally made up patient data. They copied and pasted patient data from elsewhere. They were plagiarizing large parts of their paper, and it took a medical student as an assignment for school to figure this out, right? Nobody really paid attention to all of this until people started bringing ivermectin into the conversation. So all that to say, again, there's no available evidence to suggest ivermectin is a COVID-19 prophylactic or cure, and the evidence that people online tend to point to is entirely made up or poorly done in terms of the scientific randomized controlled trial design that goes into it.
Ivermectin has been falsely touted by some anti-vaxxers as an alternative to getting vaccinated. Joe Rogan on Wednesday posted a video to his social media. Oh God, can we have it? Can we have that video? No, somebody sent me the video. In which he revealed that he has COVID-19. The comic and popular host said he took ivermectin, a dewormer meant for horses that the CDC says is not authorized or approved by the FDA for prevention or treatment of COVID-19. Now, I saw Jimmy Dore and Joe Rogan's, talk and conversation they had, right? They had a conversation. And in that conversation, they talked at length about how, well, the vaccine is not FDA approved.
I go, when people have a reaction to an experimental vaccine that is not FDA approved, you're supposed to...
Okay, I don't like this line. It is not FDA approved, correct, but it was approved for emergency use. They don't just let random stuff go out there for emergency use. They didn't just pick up the vaccine, shake it a little, look at it, says that looks medical or something, then give it to everybody. They still had to go through testing and programs for that. Even though it was approved for emergency use, and I think the point was hogwash, it is approved now. He could have gone and gotten it, could have gotten the 2 doses, could take the FDA approved treatments and uses to help him not catch it and deal with it now. with ventilators and everything else. But the CDC said very clearly, right here, that it is not authorized or approved by the FDA for prevention or treatment of COVID-19. And it's so weird for Joe Rogan and Jimmy Dore to make such a fuss, have so much commotion over the fact that the vaccine, which was specifically made to treat this, not being approved. Even though it was approved for emergency use. And this isn't approved for emergency use either. But now it is. And now screw that. We're going with the horse medicine. It's just wild for me, man. It's wild. Ivermectin is approved to treat certain conditions in humans, but not COVID-19, which the FDA stressed on August 21 when the federal agency tweeted, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." The post included information about why the drug can be dangerous and even lethal. And I could show you tons of testimony online of people who have taken ivermectin and have had a ton of medical complications that they wouldn't have had if they just took the FDA-approved COVID vaccine. For so long, they talked about how FDA approval mattered, how much it mattered, and now it's approved. Get the fucking vaccine. You virtue signaling losers. Get it. This is not a hill for you to die on, coughing and wheezing. The Spotify podcast host has made headlines during the pandemic for sowing doubt about vaccines. In April, Rogan walked back comments he made about how, on his show, when he said young, healthy people could skip the jab. The reason that was dangerous is because even if your odds are better if you're young and healthy, number one, you could still get COVID and die. And number two, you can still get COVID and spread it to other people who are more likely to die. On Wednesday, Rogan said, and not to mention, we don't want these variants getting to do little science experiments in healthy people's bodies, okay? We don't want any more variants. And a good way to stomp these out, getting these vaccines. On Wednesday, Rogan told his Instagram audience he had COVID-19, but after rearrange his stand-up schedule, I got back from the road Saturday night feeling very weary. I had a headache. I felt just run down, he said. Adding the symptoms progressed throughout the evening. The next day, he tested positive for COVID-19. So we threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, Rogan said, specifying he took Z-Pak, aka the antibiotic Petidosone, and Ivermectin, which is a drug used to treat parasitic worms in horses. Ivermectin has been falsely touted by some anti-vaxxers as an alternative to getting a COVID-19 jab. The New York Times reported that Ivermectin has repeatedly failed in clinical trials to help people affected with coronavirus. Rogan noted he is feeling better. Today I feel good. I actually feel pretty fucking good. I really hope he feels okay. I really hope he gets through this. But god damn it, man. Now his Ivermectin shit isn't just on him. It's not just risking his health. Now he's spreading that nonsense after the FDA said, don't do this. After the CDC said, don't do this. After he touted on his show his concerns about the vaccine not being FDA approved. Dude, have some consistency. Have some principles. Let's look at his full statement.
Hello, friends. So, I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache, and I just felt just run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my family, slept in a different part of the house, and throughout the night, I got fevers and sweats, and I knew what was going on. So, I got up in the morning, got tested, and turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of...
Okay, can I ask, has Rogan publicly stated whether he has actually gotten vaccinated before? I already have my assumptions here, but I want to make sure I don't assume.
Hello, friends.
Okay, well, I have to start it over.
I got
Sorry.
back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache, and I just felt just run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my family, slept in a different part of the house, and throughout the night, I got fevers and sweats, and I knew what was going on. So I got up in the morning, got tested, and turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything. And I also got an NAD drip and a vitamin drip, and I did that 3 days in a row. And so here we are on Wednesday, and I feel great. I really only had one bad day. Sunday sucked, but Monday was better. Tuesday felt better than Monday, and today I feel good. I actually feel pretty fucking good. That's the good news. The bad news is we have to move the Friday show in Nashville. It's going to move to Sunday, October 24th. So that will be the new Nashville date. My apologies to everyone. Obviously, there's nothing that I can control. It is what it is. Crazy times we're living in. But a wonderful, heartfelt thank you to modern medicine for pulling me out of this so quickly and easily. And my love to all of you. Thank you. Bye.
God. Just slipped it in there. I hope the dude's okay. I hope the dude recovers, but God, man. Can we just stop taking the horse medicine? Can we please just stop taking the horse medicine?
Is occurred.
Trev, Tennessee, thank you so much. I appreciate it.